Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will discuss about the SQL constraints. So what are these SQL constraints? Or what is the purpose of using SQL constraints for database operations? So let's see. SQL constraints are used to specify rules for the data in a table. So what it means? It means that we are using some constraint or condition to specify a particular data that should be in this manner or this way to be implemented in that particular table. So that is the basic way of implementing SQL constraints, or that is the basic purpose for that. And next it is showing that this ensures the accuracy and reliability of the data in the table. Yes, of course, when we apply constraints, it will ensure security, accuracy, as well as reliability, which is needed by any database table that was created, especially for enterprise products. And next, if there is any violation between the constraint and the data action, the action is aborted. So on applying constraints to a table, if the constraint doesn't matches, at the same time the action will be aborted and the data will not enter into the table. And the constraints when used can be column level or a table level. We can apply these constraints into column level or table level. It can apply to in both cases. So when we apply the constraints to a column level, this column level constraints will apply only to a column or column level, and if we apply the same constraints to a table level, it will apply to the entire table that has been developed by the user. So this is the basic purpose of using SQL constraints in a table developed by the user in a database, and here we are using Oracle database. So the following constraints are used in the SQL. You can see here: not null, unique, primary key, foreign key, and check. These are the common constraints that we are using in SQL in daily operations for enterprise products or enterprise applications. So we can see what are these constraints or what are the use of these constraints. So not null constraint. Not null constraint means from the name itself we can understand that it's indicating that something should not be null, or not, null value should not be added into the table. So it is then that's the meaning. Ensures that a column cannot have a null value. So if you want to add a column in a table which should not contain any null values, we will specify that column with a constraint called not null. The next constraint is unique constraint. Unique constraint ensures that all the values in a column are different. So if we use unique constraint in a table for a particular column, once we enter data for that column once, and we cannot use that particular value again for entering into a table. So this keeps the homogeneity or heterogeneity. We can say heterogeneity. It cancels homogeneity, because once the data is entered, then it cannot be entered again into the table. We can consider example for a login page. If a username is, consider your name as a username, and you have registered the particular user with that name once, and if again you try to register with that name, it will not enter into a table, it will show an error. So that is the use of unique constraint in database operations. And next is a primary key. Primary key is a combination of not null and unique. And what it means? A combination of not null and unique. It means that the primary difference between this unique and primary key is that unique constraint is similar to that of primary key, but a unique constraint can contain null values. But at the same time, primary key is unique as well as it will not contain any null values. So that is a basic difference between unique and primary key, and it also uniquely identifies each row in a table. So the basic operation for using primary key is to make it unique. As I told, the example of username and password. Same example. And a foreign key is a constraint which uniquely identifies a row or record in another table. And I missed one point about the primary key. Primary key can be initialized once for only one column, or only one primary key will be existing per table, and more than one primary key will not be available for a table. And a foreign key is a constraint which accesses the primary key of another table and uniquely identifies a row or record in that another table. That is the purpose of foreign key. And finally, check constraint. The main purpose of check is to ensuring that all the values in a column satisfies a specific condition. The purpose is to just check whether the conditions are matching, or the conditions should be working according to the specified constraints. And this is the syntax, a common syntax for defining any constraint. Any constraint like not null, unique, primary key, foreign key, check. The common syntax is creating a table. We can use it during creation of table, and if we forgot, we can also make a constraint using an alter table, and we will see the implementation of these constraints in next video. And we are here just discussing about what are these constraints and how these constraints works when applied in a table for database operations. So this is a common syntax used, a common query used for creating a constraint for a table. Create table, table name and column and its data type, and the required constraint we need to specify here. And that's it. That's the use of SQL constraints in the database. So I hope you understand the basic concept of usage of SQL constraints in the database operations. So if you like this video, please press the like button and provide a comment that is valuable for improving our sessions, and share and subscribe if you like this or if you understand this video. Thank you.